I accept full and complete responsibility for my role in and our response to that crisis.
I can honestly put my hand on my heart and say I did try my best, my very best, to do the right thing by the Irish people.
We had helped Ireland more than any other country.
Day after day, the witnesses came to Leinster House. It was the politicians' turn to grill those in office when one of the world's biggest banking collapses happened.
The inquiry was allowed to look at issues in general. It wasn't allowed to look at individual loans or individual mistakes or individual pieces that were confidential to developers or to bankers. So it was something which, you know, it was very broad brush, but it couldn't drill too far into the detail because at every step of the way, the lawyers were looking over the inquiry's shoulder and saying, look, you can't do this, you can't do that.
Chipper and upbeat, Brian Cowan appeared and made a robust defence of his time in office.
I'm sorry that the policies we felt necessary to put in place in responding to the financial crisis brought with it hardship and distress to many people.
Do you disagree that you were in fact encouraging the worst excesses of the banks?
You're setting me up as some sort of guy who's promoting cowboy speculators. I'm not don't travel in those circles at all.
His predecessor in the role of Taoiseach, Bertie Ahern, was determined to clear himself of blame in this banking fiasco.
If hindsight was foresight, you know, I'd be a billionaire and so would you. I know that during my time as Taoiseach, while I did not get everything right, I can honestly put my hand on my heart and say I did try my best, my very best, to do the right thing by the Irish people. Of course, I apologise for my mistakes, but I'm also pleased that I did get a lot of things right.
Critics say there was not enough evidence taken on the internal controls within the banks, where a long-standing conservative approach to property sector lending was overturned, as former AIB auditor Eugene McArleen believes happened.
Had those rules been observed, 62 billion of lending would not have been made. We wouldn't have needed a bailout of 64 billion. We probably would have survived this relatively unscathed and not had the consequences that we've been living with for the last 8 years.
The chief executive of AIB at the time came closest to dealing with that key aspect of the inquiry when he was pressed on the bank's failures.
I'm still not clear what you're apologising for.
Well, I'm very clear. We took too much risk in a sector that turned out to be toxic. I was CEO. I could have stopped it. That's what I'm apologising for.
You could have stopped it.
In theory, yes.
But you didn't.
Correct.
That humility wasn't shared across the financial sector. The appearance of Michael Fingleton, former chief executive at Irish Nationwide Building Society, was eagerly awaited. Vilified in the media, how would he survive the mauling by politicians?
I feel, Deputy, that I've been misrepresented.
In what way?
Seriously. In all the comments, I'd say 80% what has been written about me by certain individuals was totally wrong.
I thought Michael Fingleton was far and away the best performer. He came in there, he was confident, he knew his facts, he was certain he did nothing wrong, and that he, contrary to everyone else's opinion of him, that he was diligent, professional banker, and that everybody was wrong.
As the banking inquiry cannot make findings of fact about individuals, the treatment of the Office of the Financial Regulator and the actions of the central bank will be watched closely.
There was trust and reliance placed on the boards and management of the banks to conduct their affairs prudently and properly. That was part of the model of supervision that was put in place by the authority.
Once we had made a decision that we were not going to nationalise a bank, and we made a decision to guarantee 6 banks, I believe that was the correct decision.
The institutions have been heavily criticised in previous inquiries, and according to leaked reports, the regulators will get another roasting.
I think that they were lazy, and I think that they didn't understand what was going on. And I also think that there's a certain arrogance there built up through the years of the boom, where everything seemed to go right, and they thought things will right themselves again. When it went wrong, we had the wrong guys in charge, and I think that that really came home in the bank inquiry. But of course we know the inquiry, because it's super limited, won't be able to find anything against any of these regulators individually by name, because that's one of the many things it can't do.
And what will the banking inquiry make of the evidence of Jean-Claude Trichet, former president of the European Central Bank, who agreed to participate, but only from the lofty position of a top table at Dublin Castle, where he gave as good as he got?
No pre-negotiation, no pre-discussion on the guarantee of any kind, no call for any dialogue on that. We have the guarantee which comes. The guarantee is a thunderbolt.
Officials negotiating for the ECB have had a mandate to tell the Irish negotiators, you cannot burn bondholders.
It would be a very bad move, and I'm saying that for the 10th time.